Welcome into the Michigan Football Report, folks. Michigan finishes the season again for the fourth straight year, losing their last two games. I am your host, James Yoder, the king of Michigan football media, Yoder 2020, running for president of Michigan football, and I'm in Orlando after the Citrus Bowl. Michigan loses to Alabama in a game where they don't score a single point in the second half. Let's get into it. We've got our Michigan football grades. I'm at Chat Sports HQ South in Orlando. My friend Phil's house. Went to the game as a regular fan, just like you, just like me. And I'll tell you what, I was excited early, but I was disappointed the more the game went on. I've got grades for Jim Harbaugh, Josh Gattis, Don Brown, Shea Patterson, and the rest of the Michigan football team. Let's get into it, starting with Jim Harbaugh. Jim, I'll tell you what, I'm giving you a D, folks. I'm giving Jim Harbaugh a D because straight up, Michigan got crushed, murdered, absolutely embarrassed in the second half of a game against a top 3 program in the country. Ohio State a month ago, Alabama today. For the second straight game, Michigan went into halftime with a chance. I felt good. I was loving what was happening. I felt like Josh Gattis did his job. I felt that the defense was doing okay. And Michigan went into halftime with a 16-14 lead. Final score, 35-14. Michigan crushed in the second half, 21-0 Alabama. In the second half, I'll say this. This is the first game of Michigan football in my life. I didn't stay till the end. Not because I didn't want to, but we had to get an Uber. Not a big deal. Jim Harbaugh, you get a D. The Wolverines, 395 yards of offense to 480 for the Mac Jones-led Crimson Tide. 233 yards for Shea Patterson. How about this, folks? 327 yards for Mac Jones, the backup quarterback for Alabama. I'm going to ask you guys this question. I want to know from you, 5 years in, can Jim Harbaugh win big games? Can Jim Harbaugh win big games in your opinion? You guys tell me. Type 1 if yes. Type 2 if no. You're going to get an ad break here. I think you're in an ad break. So scroll down. I'm going to pin the comment below. Type 1 for yes. Type 2 for no. By the time you scroll back up, the ad break will be over. Let's move on to Josh Gattis. I'm going to give him a C-. Early on in the game, it was looking good. I was feeling good about this game. In the first, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I sat with Alabama fans. They didn't like me, but the first half, I was feeling good about this game. 233 yards of passing for Michigan. Zach Charbonnet and Hassan Haskins. The running game was doing very good early. 162 yards rushing for Michigan on the game. Josh Gattis, C-, but you can't get shut out in the second half of a big-time bowl game. You see the shirt I'm wearing? You see the shirt, okay? I was repping Michigan football today. I don't feel like the offense repped Michigan football to the best of their abilities. Josh Gattis gets a C-. 151 yards in the first half for second half stats. We're going to go over those really quick for Michigan. 286 yards in the first half, 109 in the second half. 151 yards passing in the first half, 82 in the second half. I'm looking at my stats on my phone, so that was a little one of those. So don't feel weird that I'm looking off screen here. I am at Chat Sports HQ South, just outside of Orlando, Florida, filming the show a couple hours after Michigan loses to Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. Let's go to Don Brown. Don Brown, you gotta go. You are fired in my book. Don Brown is fired in my book as far as I can tell. I do not think he will return as Michigan's defensive coordinator. Maybe he will, but he shouldn't under any circumstances. He gives up 480 yards and 327 yards passing to Mac MF Jones. Mac Mother Jones gives 327 yards of passing on the Michigan defense. It started right out of the gate. Michigan punting the first drive, and what happens? big time touchdown. Big time touchdown. Right out of the gate from Alabama. Michigan goes down 7-0 early on. And I'm looking around saying, what, is Don Brown not learned his lesson? Does he not know how to defend big time college football offenses? And I really think that's the case. 16 of 25, 327, and 3 touchdowns for Mac Jones. A lot of big plays. You see him on the screen. Lots of big plays. I mean, it started early, as you see. It continued. 21-0 was Alabama in the second half of this game. And I'm just disappointed. I came to this game to have fun. We're going to Tampa. We went to Tampa on Monday. Mrs. Yoder and my son. We went to our friend's house. We had all kinds of fun. Came out to Orlando with my boy Philly. And we went to the game as just fans. And Michigan disappointed big time. But by the way, that alumni tailgate, pretty fun. A lot of free booze. A lot of free food. All good there. But Michigan disappointed. And I want to know from you guys. Here's the question. Will Don Brown be Michigan's defense coordinator next year? Will he be their defense coordinator next season? Do you guys see this right here? I'm going to show you this. I took this off the wall at Phil's house. I took it off the wall because he's an Ohio State fan. You see this? National championship frame on the wall behind me in the guest room at Closest HQ. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Will Don Brown be Michigan's defensive coordinator in 2020? You see here, it's a Super Bowl ticket. I went to the Super Bowl a few years ago with Phil, and I also went to the national title game with him 5 years ago. Ohio State, Oregon, and I'll tell you what, if you go to a Michigan football game where they lose to Alabama, where they don't score in the second half with an Ohio State fan, you just have a really bad day. I want to give a shout out to the folks who saw me today at the game. I had quite a few people come up, ask for pictures, ask for just to talk to me, etc. I went to the Michigan alumni tailgate. You guys know, big time, donor to the school. And despite the reputation that some people think I have, no one has ever come up to me and said a bad thing. Everybody came up to me today was incredibly positive. Let's go to Shea Patterson. Patterson family, I love you. I saw some of the Patterson family today. I'm giving Shea a D. 17 of 31, 233, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. You can't be the quarterback of this team. He scores 0 points in the second half and get anything higher than a D. Shea Patterson loses his second game in a row. Second game at the end of the season for the second year in a row. Michigan falls to 9-4 on the season. A pretty disappointing season based on the expectations that I had, that you had, that everybody had going into this 2019 season. Folks, it's 2020. By the way, 2020, I've got a better vision for America. We're going to talk about that later in the week, but I may be running for the president of Michigan football media. Let's go on to the running backs. I'm giving them a D-. Giles Jackson had 2 carries and a touchdown. Hassan Haskins, 18 carries, 61 yards, 3.5 yards a carry. Hey, know about that, son? 13 carries for Zach Charbonnet for 84 yards. 1 carry for 9 yards for Ryan Bell. So a lot of mixing of the running backs. Hassan Haskins and Zach Charbonnet. 61 yards for Haskins, 84 yards for Zach Charbonnet. And I'll tell you what, 27 yards rushing from the team in the second half. D- for the running backs. Let's go on to the wide receivers. Look, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Nico Collins, are they coming back? I don't know. I don't actually care at this point because I think it's time for some new blood in Ann Arbor for the Michigan football program. I'm giving the wide receivers a D. Giles Jackson, 4 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Rodney Bell, 4 catches, 53 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins, 4 catches, 48 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1 catch for 32 yards. DPJ, you're an NFLer? You going to the pros, bro? Got to show up against Alabama. If you think you're going pro and this is the game that's going to take you to the next level, it wasn't Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm giving the wide receivers a D. Offensive line, I'm giving a C. Decent job. I was very keen, sitting with all Alabama fans today, very keen on watching the offensive line. I thought they did a really good job against Alabama's defensive line. Not spectacular, not awesome by any means, but they weren't embarrassed, and so I'm giving the offensive line a C. Tight ends. I give the tight ends a B. Nick Eubanks was all around, making a lot of plays today. Sean McCune, I don't know, whatever with Sean McCune, but Eubanks, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 14 yards, and that 1 touchdown early on. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to grade the Michigan offense, A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the Michigan football offense, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go with a C. C minus for the Michigan football offense. Quinn Nordine led the special teams. The longest field goal, tied for the longest field goal in Michigan football history, 57 yards. And in person, it was really cool to see because he just knocked that thing out of the park. 57 yards, special teams gets a B, led by that Quinn Nordine kick in the first half. That put Michigan ahead, 16-14 at halftime. You can't, I was sitting with an Ohio State fan, Philly Phil, and he said, Michigan, like Ohio State against Clemson, you can't kick field goals. Like Michigan against Ohio State, you can't kick field goals and expect to stick with this team. But nevertheless, Michigan 3 field goals early on, and that was pretty much the game. Asses kicked in the second half. Let's go over to the defense in a moment, but before we do, I want to give you guys the opportunity to buy clothes off Fanatics, buy gear off Fanatics. I'm going to stand up because I told you guys it arrived for Christmas for me. I'm going to show you guys this bad boy. Whoop. $12. $12 from my man Dylan. Christmas present from him to me. And you guys can get one at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/blue. $12. Rock this bad boy in the stadium all day today. $12. Chatsports.com/blue. We'll put it down in the comments for you. We'll put it in the description. But you're smart. I'm smart. Chatsports.com/blue. Go in there. Click on something. Go buy yourself a Michigan football big time Block M shirt for the 2019 offseason in a lot of ways, folks. There's not much going on for this season. Let's take a look at the defensive line. Go with a B for the defensive line. Not a ton of positives, not a ton of negatives. Mac Jones. I felt the Michigan football defense did good in the first half. The second half, the game got away from this team. And I'm giving the defensive line a B for the game. Let's go to the linebackers. I'm giving the linebackers a C minus. I mean, look, you have 35 points in Alabama, not too shabby. But remember, Mac Jones is the quarterback, not Tua. You have the best wide receiver core. You've got a great running back core led by Najee Harris. And for what it's worth, Michigan did okay. They didn't get blown out. But if your quarterback is Mac Jones, you can't expect as a Michigan football fan for them just to score 35 points, 21 unanswered, and put up no resistance in the second half. And that's pretty much what happened. So the Michigan football defense, the linebackers, giving a C minus. Look at the secondary. Really quick, folks. Secondary, Jerry Jeudy, 6 catches, 204 yards, and a touchdown right out of the gate early on. The first possession for the Crimson Tide. Jeudy to the hizzy for a touchdown. I'm looking around. I'm like, and that's what it was the whole game. Not the whole game, but like nothing changed for the Crimson Tide. They want to pass. They pass. You give 300 yards to your backup quarterback. Alabama did for Michigan on Michigan's defense. Don Brown, I'm sorry. You are done as Michigan's defensive coordinator. I don't want to see Don Brown as Michigan's defensive coordinator again. I give him a C minus, 200 yards passing or receiving for Jerry Jeudy. I want to ask you guys, though, to subscribe. Chatsports.com/Michigan TV. Chatsports.com/Michigan TV. Go down below in the comments or right below the video. You see the subscribe button. Click that subscribe button. Make sure we have videos every single day of the 2020 off season. Chatsports.com/Michigan TV. I'm your host, James Yoder again. Michigan loses to Alabama in the Citrus Bowl, 9-4, 2019 regular season. I'll be back tomorrow with more on the Michigan football team with my 5 instant reactions from this game.
Hey there, Michigan football fans. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports, college football, NFL, NBA. New videos every single day. The #1 sports network on YouTube. Ready for another Michigan football video? I got you hooked up right here.